Some things in life just go better together, like peanut butter and jelly, lock and key, pen and paper, camera and flash. But the thing is that sometimes those things can be improved. And honestly, staying with a speed light or an off-camera flash can sometimes hinder your creativity based off of the fact that they only shoot 1/200th of a second max. Now, the flash that I'm talking about today is the Neewer Q6, and it is a high-speed sync flash, and it also has a few more tricks up its sleeve. So let's hop in and check out this review of the Neewer Q6. The first thing that you're going to notice whenever you actually unbox this thing is that the packaging is phenomenal. It has a really nice soft case on the outside, and it's very sturdy on the inside to protect your Neewer flash. The Q6, it just looks so good in here. And it also has a nice slot for your Q Pro controller if you decide to purchase one of those, which I highly recommend because it is seamless and it works really great. You also get the power cable, of course, and the battery. These are things that you need to make this thing work. It also comes with a handle, as they're calling it, but it's just a way for you to put it on your C-stand. It is detachable, which is nice, so you can fit everything into the box very well. Whenever you pull the flash out for the first time, you'll notice how beautifully designed this unit actually is. The design language is phenomenal, and I really haven't seen anything that looked quite like it. The shape is so different, and I just like to be different, and that's one of my favorite things about this flash. The build quality is very, very nice, and I love the bright screens that come on it. That will probably drain your battery a little bit, but they are very pretty to look at and very easy to read, and that helps a lot of people, especially if you're visually impaired. This is going to be very nice for you to have a big screen, or two, actually. You'll also notice a very nice large infrared strip across the top of the flash, which is for slave modes, so you can have S1 or S2, first shutter or second shutter, if you need to use this as a slave flash as well, which works with any flash that that you can use. So it just tells that flash to go off. It comes with a USB-C port for your firmware updates, and it also has a 2.5mm sync port. But we're really not here for the packaging, right? We're here for the design, the interface, the performance, and the overall user experience. When you turn the flash on, you actually have to go through a step where it has a safety lock on it, which I think is very convenient because it can be knocked in your bag, or you can accidentally press a power button and have a flash come on. But this one has a two-step authentication, if you will. You have to press the power and then turn the dial a few times to make sure that that's what you want to do, and then it powers right on, and then we see our beautiful Neewer screens pop up. And on the left side, you'll see that you have the groups, and they're color coded as well to help you remember which one that you are on, which is very helpful. And then on the other side, you have all the other settings that will be right there. The layout of this is pretty simple. You have the group and channel button, so you can go through your groups. I keep mine on C and channel 1 for now. You obviously have the menu button, which you can go in and customize this entire flash however you want it to be. And you can also access this from your app, which is actually pretty intuitive and easy to use also. They killed it with the Neewer app. I used it across a wedding reception that was probably 50 feet away, and the flash was 10 feet in the air, so it is kind of hard to pull it all the way down, adjust everything if you don't have the app. So it is just very, very convenient. Then you have the mode button, which gives you TTL, multi, and manual. In my opinion, if you're using manual, you can conserve the most battery because you have full control over the entire unit and how much power you're actually putting out. So if you want a longer lasting experience, I'll definitely consider manual. I've been using TTL and it's working really great with their Pro controller. It just works the way that it should, which is great. Then you also have the test button. It's just like a little flash test just to make sure your unit is actually still working. I've used this a few times just to make sure it's on, everything's good to go. But really, the two main functionalities of this one that stands apart from some other flashes out there is this button here. It's going to be the circle button with a little line underneath it. And this is for your model light. And yeah, I know you're thinking, well, every flash as a model light, or a lot of them do. But this one you can actually change the brightness, which is very bright, or you can change the Kelvin or the temperature. And this is very nice to have as well, especially if you're using this as a secondary LED light. And secondly, one of the most beneficial parts of having a model light is that your camera doesn't have to hunt for autofocus if you're in a darker area. So this is a very powerful tool to have, and it's just really nice to, it looks good, it looks professional, honestly. So right now I'm using the actual Q6 right here as my LED light, and you can tell that it's more than powerful enough to have a nice key light, especially if you're in a smaller studio. The light's pretty close to me, but it is, there's a softbox, and it looks really good considering this is a flash. So pretty cool. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, what are you doing? Just get over there and follow me, because that's where all the cool stuff is. You get to see cool videos over here, but you get to see all of the images and stay up to date with what I'm doing over on Instagram. Message me if you want to. I have a lot of people that do that, and make sure you comment below, because I answer everybody's unless they're being rude, and then I'll have some of my friends answer them for me. But the main reason we're probably all here, and I think the thing that you want to talk about the most, is the H button, which would be the high sync speed, or the HSS, which a lot of people don't know about, but I believe it's something worth talking about. All right, so what is high sync speed, or HSS? This is actually a really cool feature that allows you to shoot up to 1/8,000th of a second, which is around 40 times faster than typical flashes allow you to shoot. You would usually have to use an ND filter or stop down your camera quite a bit to be able to do something like this. But with the HSS, you could shoot at 1.2 aperture and 1/8,000th of a second and get the blurry background if you're looking for that. If that's the style that you're going for, this would be great for you. All right, so I'm going to shoot this flash, the Q6, just as normal. This is not HSS, and I want to have a blurry background, but right now I can't because it's very, very bright here. So I'm gonna have to compensate by stopping down to about 6.3. Actually, F8 is as good as I can get right now. So we're gonna pop it into HSS by clicking the H button. And I'm gonna go to 1.2 on my camera. And I'm gonna shoot at 1/4000th of a second. Here we go. Look at that. It just has such a nice look whenever you are using HSS. It is battery powered, which is actually even more versatile. So you can just take it anywhere. That's the whole purpose of all of this, is that you can take this flash anywhere and you will be able to photograph whatever you want to, however you want to. And I'm gonna compare this next thing off of the ML300 by Neewer. I have two of these flashes and I have beat them to death. I've had them for a long time and they work so well, but the battery life on those is significantly better than the battery life on the Q6. The Q6, I've gotten away with shooting full entire receptions, which is a long process, and I do shoot a lot of photos during those. It does keep up, but by the end of the night, she's dead. I mean, almost dead. But there are some reasons that that's happening. Obviously, we have full app control Bluetooth, and we're also having these very, very bright screens on top of that, and you're using a smaller battery physically. So it does make sense why it does suck battery so much faster. But at the same time, if you're shooting like that, then just go home and recharge it or buy another battery. My ML300s kind of spoiled me, but they also don't shoot high sync speed flash. So they're not blasting out hundreds of flashes at once whenever I'm outdoors. So it does make a lot of sense why the battery is not as good. That's just one caveat to having a really nice high-speed sync flash, is that the battery is just not going to be as good as others. I would just buy another battery, honestly. The color output of this flash is very pleasing. It's true to life, and I just really like how it renders. I've shot this in various situations: portraits, headshots, weddings, and just kind of messing around in daily life. And I love the color rendition that comes from the flash. It just looks great, pleasing, and it is true to the skin tones that I'm photographing. I'm not upset about the recycle time at all. It is very, very fast. I have run into one issue with this flash. It does overheat, and I've caught this at receptions a few times, but I am shooting TTL, so it's deciding how much light that it wants to give me. If you are using manual, then you can kind of adjust it the way you want to, so you'll be able to get more flashes out of it. But the way that I've been shooting is TTL, so it just decides for me. And then sometimes it'll just heat up, and sometimes I'll miss the photo because it is hot and it can't actually flash at the moment. So that's one caveat to it. But if you're just careful and you're not shooting like a maniac like I do, then you should be fine. I've only run into this issue actually once or twice, and it wasn't a pivotal situation whenever it happened. So yeah, those are things to think about. There is affiliate links in the bottom, and this helps the channel if you do decide to purchase them here. It would be greatly appreciated for me. I get a couple of dollars if you buy a flash, but yeah, it helps the channel keep going, and I like to keep going. I do this for free, I do this for fun, and it's just nice. I just like making stuff for people. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, peace.